You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Ooh, welcome back to the desk. The men's Pioneers team, they're punched their ticket into the NJAC playoffs. And here to break things down, we have Joe, Anthony, and Danny. Now, gentlemen, it's been a long time coming for the Pioneers. You know, this season's been hard for them. Not many games have been played. But Joe, if we look back at their last game against Rutgers Camden, what are your thoughts on it?
I saw a game that was a tale of two halves for the Pioneers. We are talking zero, zip, nada in the 3-point column in the first half compared to lights out Golden State Warriors Splash Brothers style 3-point shooting in the second half. That's the type of recipe. That's the Pioneers that I know. That 3-point shooting, lights out, get better as the game go on. Perfect formula.
Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, Joe's talking about tale two halves. I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. You look at both games here, a game that the Pioneers dominated the first half in the first game and then kind of let Rutgers Camden creep back into it the second half. And in the second game, we're kind of looked out of it the first half and then blew Rutgers Camden's doors off in the second half. So, I mean, we've kind of seen that where the Pioneers have struggled in one half and dominated in the other half. But at the end of the day, it's good enough for a win, and that's all that matters.
I agree with you, Anthony. Hey, a win is a win. Doesn't matter if it's ball 1 or 50. A win is a win. Danny, what are your thoughts on this win?
Not to take anything away from the men's basketball team. This was against the worst team in the conference, but I think there were good signs. Like they said, it was a tale of two halves in the second game and in the first one. But for me, I like the aggressiveness in which they did. They get a lot of foul calls. They had 37 free throw attempts. It would help to make them because, like you guys said, it's like you said, Samory, free throws, they're free. You got to make them. And not to toot my own horn here, 20 for 37, not the greatest percentage. You're looking around the 50% mark.
Hey, we said this earlier. 50% is not good, but the win was still gotten by the Pioneers. So I think the Pioneers will take it, and they know exactly what they need to do to get better. And speaking on them, if they do want to get better and they do want to get a win tonight, Joe, they're going to need a key player, you know. And there's a lot of key players on the Pioneers, but who do you think that key player will be for the Pioneers to get a victory today?
I want to talk about good things. Danny Llanos, maybe you can crunch this one for me. Dom Mignon against Rutgers Camden, 8 of 13 shooting, pops off the page. The guy was absolutely lights out from the field. And also, you have to remember, big games, you want to rely on the people that have been there before, your veterans, your leaders. Dom Mignon is that guy for the Pioneers. I think that he's going to be a leader on the court and off the court.
Great answer, Draw. I love that answer there, Joe. Danny, who you got?
I was able to crunch the numbers just in time, Joe. You're looking at a 70% field goal percentage, and I'm going to have to agree with you here. 2 for 2. I'm going to go with Dom Mignon as well. Honestly, if he plays like the way he did last year, because he was like the Robin to Sean Smith's Batman, and if he plays the way he did last year, like he did this game as well, 18 points, it'll open up so many different possibilities. Yavins Monfleury who's a matchup nightmare, by the way, can get many great looks. Adrian Lopez can get great looks, who has also been playing really well, and Jaden Cepeda as well.
Hey, Danny, I love that DC analogy, but I think they're more like the world's finest. I'd say Sean Smith was more like Superman. Dom Mignon was more a little bit like Batman. Anthony, who you got?
Guys, you're forgetting the reigning Pioneer of the week, Adrian Lopez, man. He's such a fun person to watch on this basketball team. He's like a magician with the ball. Around the basket with the ball, you see him make passes and drive the basket and do all this weird stuff, you know, getting these awesome layups like in traffic. I can't watch enough of this guy, really. It's not all about the points. Listen, like he's averaging 13 points a game. Like, it doesn't jump off the page, but it's not bad either. And I get it, his 3-point percentage isn't the best, but what this guy can do for the team in terms of assists, rebounding, and scoring, it's just the full package.
Now, Anthony, keeping it with you, the quest for the NJAC title goes through Montclair State tonight. So what are your expectations for this game? Because we've seen Montclair before. You know, we saw them back-to-back games. Both ended in losses. But I think that the Pioneers could get it right. I really do. It's hard to beat one team 3 times in one season. I really think Montclair is going to struggle against William Patterson tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, Samory, you said it yourself. It's really tough to beat a team 3 times, and the Pioneers played Montclair really, really hard the first 2 games, especially the second game here at the Rec Center. Pioneers came back from a huge, I think, 15, 17-point deficit, came all the way back to tie the game. They didn't end up winning, but they came all the way back. I think the Pioneers have a really good shot, and they're out for blood tonight, and I kind of expect them to get the win.
Yep.
Absolutely, Anthony. I'm predicting a win, and I'm predicting a big win for the Pioneers. And the reason why is because Montclair State, as the year has went on, has become more and more their shooting has become worse and worse, I should say. They are now in the bottom half of the NJAC in shooting. And I tell you, that's not going to play against the Pioneers and our sharpshooters. It's just not going to play. So I'm looking forward to that tonight.
Danny?
Make it 3 for 3 with this upset special because I believe in the Pioneers. Like the other guy said, it was a close game in the second game. And honestly, they had that game. They just like the point I made to the previous one, they got to make their free throws because I think in that game as well, they went 20 for 36. That's not going to get it done. A couple more free throws, they win that game. Aside from that, if they play the defense that they did in the second half against Rutgers Camden, it doesn't even need to get to the point of free throws.
Now, Danny, we're gonna keep it with you. I'm gonna predict as well that the Pioneers win. If they do win tonight against Montclair State University, do you think this cements a spot for the Pioneers as a superpower to be reckoned with in the NJAC for the future?
I'm not sure about superpower, but it is a good program establishing win as to what they were last year because they were middling last year and they were very inconsistent. But with an upset like that, it could put the program back on track. And they're a dangerous team, and they can make a deep run to win the NJAC this year.
Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Pioneers is that they have 2 new players that have really produced in Montfleury and Lopez. And you got to realize that this team only has played 4 games this year, so they're kind of a wild card. So no team has really seen them and seen these players play. So considering that if the Pioneers do come out tonight, get the big dub against Montclair State, I really think that teams would take a step back and be like, wow, this is a team that we got to look out for.
Yeah, that's a great point, Anthony, that they only have played 4 games, so it's not much film out there on them. Joe, close us out.
Last year, Montclair State University and William Patterson University they tipped off the season at home at the Rec Center, and it was a 106-105 classic. The Pioneers fell. But from that game, I saw a brutal rivalry about to begin. I saw 2 teams that are both really evenly matched. And I think if the Pioneers win tonight, coming off of this crazy season, I think that a lot of people in the NJAC are going to take note. You have another good recruiting class, and the rest of the NJAC needs to watch out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And we hope the best for the men and the women's Pioneers as they both have NJAC tournament games this weekend. Just best of luck to all involved, to coaches, everybody involved. But now we're going to take it to the pros. We're going to take it down to the NBA crew as they break down the big beef with Donovan Mitchell and the NBA referees. Stick around here on WP Sports Desk.